Hey, welcome back. Stoney Creek here. Stay tuned. Let me show you what we're getting ready to do. So we did it. We bought the farm. We've got a few things moved over here. Of course, we're not moved over here, and neither are the critters. There's a few things that I've got to do before we can move the goat herd over here and the birds. Let me take a second and I'll show you what I'm doing today. So it's pretty windy out here today. I'm not used to all this wind. Of course, in the woods, trees block everything. So this place that we bought, it's got 34 acres out here. I'm not going to give you the whole tour today. What's the fun in that if you can't see the goats? But one of the things that this place had, don't know if you can see it here or not, but it's set up for cattle and horses. So it's got a lot of pipe fence, which is great. It's got a lot of the cable fence, and in other places it's got 5 barbed wire strand fence. Again, great for cattle, not so great for goats. So what I've got to do is run some fence, and I'm going to make what I'm going to call a nighttime paddock. It's where I'm going to have the goats come to at night anyway. This is about an acre. Let me show you real quick. Up there, of course, is the shop. You can see my truck way down there. I've got to build a gate. I'm going to put a 16-foot gate there so I can continue to drive in. This is actually a riding arena all over here. But I'm going to put goat fence along here, all the way down to there, right to that corner. And then I'm going to cross fence. I'm going to put a 10-foot gate somewhere over here. But over to that fence. Then I'm going to goat fence the rest of the way back up. And then over to this area. Now this area that I just pointed out, it's about an acre, just a little bit less than an acre. But I think that's going to be a good area where I can keep my goats once we first move out here. Grass is starting to come in, which is going to be nice. And then also, once they get out here and I get a chance to cross fence some more, get it ready for the goats, we're going to allow them out into more of the property, and then always have them come back to this area of an evening just to kind of help keep them safe. Now again, I'm not going to show you everything out here. Where's the fun in that? I have to save some content for later videos, but I am going to just do the quick preview here. Of course, my gate's going to be here. I've already dropped 2 posts, 10-foot gate. That way I can drive on back. But they'll have that whole area to run into. And then on the other side of this fence, they're going to have the whole back pasture over here. At some point we'll cross fence this, but for this summer we're going to just make this whole area goat ready. And that way they can be turned out there during the day. It's kind of hard to see. This thin line's actually a pond. Let me see if I can just lift the camera up. I won't know until I edit if you can see that or not, but there's a pond over there. But they'll have nice open ranges to graze on. Let me finish dumping off this fence for the doe pasture, and I'm going to show you where we're going to keep the bucks. So we're going to move our bucks out here. Now again, this is just going to be a temporary spot. This is going to end up being our weaning pasture. But let me kind of give you a heads up of what we're thinking out here. This loafing shed is divided in half to the next paddock over. So the bucks are only going to get this half and our mini mule. I'm going to put a small 4-foot gate here just as a pass through because I can drive into the pasture from a gate up there, and I can also drive into the pasture from a big gate over there, so I don't need another big gate. That over there is the only neighbor that we can see, so that's pretty outstanding. Everything else is just surrounded by countryside. Now we're going to cross fence this over to our other fence over there, and this area is going to be about a 2-acre paddock, and this is going to be great for the weaning does, and it's also going to work out great for our bucks right now. And the reason that I'm going to put that walk-through gate here is because they'll have access to another 4 acres on the other side, so during the day they'll be able to graze over there once we get the rest of that fence up, and then they'll come back into this paddock as the nighttime. Now after we get moved, this area over here is where we're actually going to keep the bucks. Again, they'll have access to this side of the shelter. And I'll end up putting a 10-foot gate through here. That way we can drive to the back. But they'll have 6 acres that direction that we can rotational graze. Then this side over here is a lot deeper than what we're going to be using as that weaning paddock. So that's why the bucks are going to live over here. But again, we've just got to get things fenced right now just to be able to move the herd over here. I'm not comfortable leaving the goats over to our other place and us moving over here, or us moving the goats over here and us still living at the other place. Now, of course, other than moving the goats, we still have to move turkeys, we've got to move peacocks, we've got to move chickens. So we've got some other structures that we've got to put up just to get ready for them. But I wanted to give you that quick update. I'm going to tell you, until we get moved, I'll try to throw up a video at least once a week to show you what we're doing and the progress and how things are going. But until we finally get settled, it's going to be kind of haphazard. Now there's one more thing that I want to show you before we go. So in one of my recent videos, someone asked me the question, are you going to change the name to your channel once you get moved? And the answer to that is nope. It's still going to stay Stoney Creek. And yep, there's still a creek on the place. So although we're moving out of the woods, we still have a few woods here on this property as well. And there is a nice little creek that runs through it. Well, thanks for being patient with me during this transition between farms. I'm going to get a video out a week to give you the progress of how things are going, and hopefully we can get moved over here within the next 7 to 10 days. Weather permitting, of course, it's supposed to rain. It's always raining here, it seems. But I'm going to do my best to get those pens built pretty quick, get that wire up, and we'll get the herd ready to move over here. So until next time, I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next video.